Good morning, good evening, good whatever it is to you. It's Bearded Trout, and we're back at the bench for another episode of Beards, Bugs, and Cat Butts. So, on today's episode, we're going to tie a nice, quick, simple foam hopper. It is hopper season, so let's get started with our material list. So we have some 2mm foam that I've cut into 5mm wide strips. I'm taking some Sharpies and I've channeled my inner Bob Ross. So that is our first material, 8/0 thread in a tan or brown color. We're using a size 8 dry fly hook. For the wing, I am using some polypropylene yarn or phentax yarn and some elk. Legs are consisting of some round rubber and an olive with a burnt orange barring on them. And then a little bit of dubbing that I grabbed off the bench. So let's get this out of the way and let's get started with another one. So we're just going to start our thread here, there, on everywhere on the shank. So we're going to build a little bit of a base. We've got our foam here. Use some Sharpies, channel your inner Bob Ross. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be matching. Got to have some contrast to her. So we're just gonna do a little bit of an extended body. Usually go about half the hook shank for my extension. Tie that in with fairly solid wraps. Your foam is gonna move around here a bit. You're just gonna have to manipulate it, go in front of it. Advance up a little bit. We're going to build a 2-segment body here. And then right to the eye of the hook. Just double check that your foam is sitting evenly. We're just going to close off that last bubble a bit. At this point, we're going to grab some poly yarn or phentax. Got this in a light tan. Just going to lay that on top. That is going to be the first part of our wing. Wraps holding that in place. Trim your excess. And we're going to grab some elk. Brush out your underfur, short fibers. Flea comb works fantastic. Pick them up at the dollar store for $1.25. Stack that hair. A couple taps is all you need. Pull any existing small fibers out. We're going to lay that right on top of that first wing that we did. Couple light wraps, and then center down, and we're just going to work up the wing towards the back. Secure a few wraps in there, just loosely holding it in place while we trim our excess out of the front here. Actually looks pretty good. I don't have to do too much adjustment. At this point I'm just going to trim my foam just a little shorter, get it out of my way. So I'm happy with that turned out. And at this point I'm just going to grab a little bit of dubbing just to hide that mess of elk that's in there. Just a random dubbing of choice. Just happened to be on the side of the bench here. So we've got our wing. At this point, if you want, you could take some crystal flash, add a couple strands, accent that wing. Should have done that before the dubbing, but you can add some crystal flash on there, both sides. We're going to pass on that one today. Just going to take that foam, fold her back, creating that head and that top of that wing bud, sandwiching everything in one spot, making sure all your wraps are right on top of each other. A couple looser wraps, and then tighten them up. Trim your foam off, get it out of the way. Then we're going to grab some rubber legs. I've got some olive that is barred with a burnt orange. Just going to accent this nicely. One or two wraps in there, right on the side. I'm just going to fold her over. Couple looser wraps in there again. Trim your excess out of the way. Adjust your legs to where you want them to sit on the body. Lock everything in place. Grab your whip finish. Trim her out. Cut your legs. At this point I will just pinch them forward, make sure they're even, and trim to the length I want them. As with the rears, I want them about the length of the tail, length of the body. Maybe just a tad shorter. At this point, grab your UV glue. Just a little down that V in the body. Then your thread wraps where your whip finished, just leading up to those legs. There you go. Nice simple foam hopper. It's fairly realistic looking. Nice color scheme to this one. Oh, last step. Forgot about that. Just trim the edges of your top piece of the wing just so it doesn't extend off the bottom side, so the fish don't see those corners poking out. There you have it. Nice simple foam hopper. Great tan colors. Till the next one, tight lines and happy flies. It's Bearded Trout. We're out.